I wanted to sort of challenge a little bit also in the book President Clinton, and because I believe that his legacy, he really embraced this idea that by shifting your positions on issues, you could win greater support. And to his credit, he did win re-election and won election in the first place. Although I'd argue it was against relatively weak opponents and a lot going for him in circumstances. But I argue in the book that throughout his term, he left his opponents emboldened and his friends often feeling betrayed. And I want to just talk very briefly about one particular instance when this happened. Clinton had faced a choice in 1993 about what priority he was going to pursue. There were basically three options on the table for him. One was to pursue passage of the North American Free Trade Agreement, which was very popular with corporate American Republicans, not that popular with Democrats. The other was pursue Al Gore's Reinventing Government program to sort of cut back on some government waste. And the third was to do what he promised to do in the campaign, which was pursue a big campaign for universal health care. He ended up, to some extent trying to do all, but really he chose to do NAFTA first. And that meant there were a lot of political resources going towards NAFTA. But it also meant that he really angered a lot of people in his political base, even though he helped a lot of corporations. And I think his idea was, in part to win over the corporations. I think there's a great little quote that I found from American Express chairman James Robinson, who's one of NAFTA's biggest proponents, about Clinton's achievement in passing NAFTA. He said, he stood up against his two prime constituents, labor and the environment, to drive it home over their dead bodies. And he was right, and Clinton did reap some short-term benefits from that victory. His approval ratings, I think similarly to Wellstone, he took up an unpopular fight, and he did see his approval ratings go up as a result, because I think in the same way it was a kind of political courage. On the other hand, he was really sort of going after progressives and the people who had been formed his base to reach out to people who had been virulently opposed to him. And that had consequences when he tried to take on healthcare, which was, I think almost everybody would agree, was both for him and for most people had a much bigger effect on the economy and was a much bigger Democratic priority.